France are in third place, having performed well on vaults. Great in the qualification phase as well.
France, however, is very good on bars. They'll have the services of Laurette Charpy as well as Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. Two potentially very big routines.
Lian Wong from the United States of America has scored 13.366 in qualification.
She's a very elegant performer on balance beam.
And she has fought with everything that she has to try and stay on the apparatus. Now, the United States of America has got some breathing space at the top of the leaderboard. It's important to state that 1.467 ahead of China going to beam. And the important thing now for Lian Wong is to recover from it, and as she's done there, not concede too many more.
And certainly she's trained for a scenario like this. Every now and again in training, one tends to take a spill like that. But as you said, Ollie, she's recovered very nicely.
Yes, to normal, unathletic human beings like me, when we see a gymnast who has that kind of a struggle on the apparatus, then we recoil in horror. But as you say, it's a routine thing for them, isn't it?
It is.
In training. And she's recovered extremely well, really well. And I'm going to bring out one of my great cliches, which is often about what you save, not simply about what you lose in a team competition. She recovered extremely impressively. That was very difficult.
A foot can so easily slip off the side of the beam when one is training a side aerial.
On the uneven bars, Marine Boyer of France.
She does have some small form errors, some flexed feet, the legs coming apart on the packed salto element, the transition from high to low. That said, she's getting through without a major mistake.
The French in third place at the halfway mark of the competition. The only time they ever won a medal was in Basel in Switzerland in 1950. They came second. There were a fair few gymnastics fans out there that had France as a real dark horse pick to actually get onto the podium. Manila Esposito from Italy, the Italians in 5th position at the halfway stage of the competition. Yurchenko 1.5, the indicated vault.
Just like in qualification, that was very secure.
Qualification score was 13.766. Won the World Cup gold medal in Cottbus right at the start of the year on vault.
And one of the reasons she did that is because this is such a strong vault for her. Good height in the air, good block off the table, plenty of time to get the twist around.
13.7, it is virtually the same as the preliminary round for Manila Esposito. Italy in second place at the moment, but a long way to go in this third rotation. You're watching the women's team final at the Artistic Gymnastics World Championships.
From a difficulty standpoint, we might see her score drop a bit there too. Obviously there was the fall, but she opted only to do a double twisting dismount, whereas normally she does a 2.5.
Watching on all of the reserve gymnasts who have been an important part of this competition, a special occasion for them, even though they're not able to step onto the competition floor. And we just raise a glass to Kayla Dincello, Poppy Grace Stickler, to Wuran Carolini Pedro, to Genelari Sakaguchi Ayaka, Veronica Mandriotta and Tisha Volleman. Not easy to be a reserve gymnast in this sort of situation. You have to stand around and experience it all as a spectator. 11.7 for Lian Wong. And that is a drop of about a mark and a half from qualifying. Georgia May Fenton, after a tough rotation on the uneven bars, heads to the beam for Great Britain. Great Britain in 4th place at this stage.
She's right on her double turn. She makes it look easy, but it is not. On that series, however, the side aerial to lay out, step out, the important thing is to keep your body, particularly your shoulders, completely square with the beam. And if it isn't, you very quickly begin having problems.
And we just remind ourselves at this stage that a key difference from qualification is that every single score is a contributing score. What steadiness there in the Wolf turns after what she just had to divorce herself from mentally earlier in the routine.
And it's the point that you make so often, Ollie. It is not about what you miss. It is always about what you salvage, what you save, what you do. And we've seen some misses tonight, but we've also seen some really great performances as gymnasts have moved on from that.
And no team final ever comes down to one single moment. It is always an intricate picture of lots of different routines. Gymnasts succeed as a team. They also don't succeed as a team. They all take responsibility and accountability for successes and those moments that are not so good.
Her shoulders start drifting to the right as she comes out of the side aerial, and so it would have been very difficult with the layout.
12.866 for Marine Boyer. Zhou Yaqin taking to the floor for the People's Republic of China. Her scoring qualification 13.766. Wasn't that enjoyable to watch? Zhou Yaqin, the national champion. The Chinese have said, haven't they, Brad, that they are looking to make their floor routines more Chinese in terms of their musical choice and their choreography.
They have said that, and this routine is exceptional for several reasons. One thing that she does very well is she sticks her tumbling passes, but the turns were magnificent, and there's a real daintiness to her choreography.
12.2 Georgia May Fenton score on beam. Charlize Jones on beam. 14.033 in qualification. The United States of America, the leaders at the halfway mark.
An ambitious mount sequence, switch to switch half, that she handles very well. This is ambitious as well. Beautiful standing Arabian. That is one of the most difficult things that a person can do on the balance beam. Here's her acro series. Should be 3 elements, back handspring to 2 feet, and a layout landed with 2 feet.
And what a hold as well. What a save.
Her middle splits, not particularly difficult for her, but it gets its own round of applause. And there's difficulty from start to finish woven into this routine. Her dismount, back handspring, double pike.
There's no doubt about it. The United States of America are marching towards another gold medal. These are stellar performances, and at the heart of it is Shilese Jones, the 21-year-old.
What flight she shows in the layout to 2 feet.
Joy Yachin's score is 13.833. The People's Republic of China making a very good case for getting back onto the podium after that run of competitions ended in 2019. Rebecca Andrade now on floor for a Brazilian team dreaming of making history for South America. This is a fabulous routine, by the way. History could be about to be made in Antwerp. And a leader figure like Rebecca Andrade, who has endured so much injury disappointment in her career, is performing so very well for the nation that she is so overjoyed to represent. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France now goes to the uneven bars, with the French also on the quest to get a medal.
She was the champion on uneven bars at the World Challenge Cup in Paris just a couple weeks ago. Here comes Nabieva. Right to pack salto. Maloney uprise, stalled her blind to immediate Ejova. She is on course for another wonderful routine.
The French also ahead of the Olympic Games in Paris are making a very bold and impressive stride towards a place on the podium. Nothing is certain yet. This is an extraordinary final.
And this was an extraordinary exercise delivered under pressure.
Charlize Jones scores 13.6. It is down by about half a mark from qualification.
Come on, keep going on. Trust it, you can do this. Come on.
Now Alice D'Amato of Italy on vault. 14 was her score in the preliminary round.
She has a very efficient double twisting Yurchenko normally. Well done.
Just for a moment, we had a look out over the Antwerp Sport Palace. We're in rotation number 3 in this women's team final. It's virtually full in the building. 14.166 for Alice D'Amato. The Italians in 5th place, but going to the vaulting table. Chance to move up. 14.666 for Andrade. Very strong score. She's up by over half a mark from qualification. That could be enormous for Brazil's challenge for a medal. Oyu Shen now goes to floor. The gymnast who won the gold medal at her home World University Games in the summer. Oyu Shen, the undergraduate at Beijing Sports University, one of the most prestigious in the country. She had a difficult time of things there.
The beginning and the end were very nice. It was the second tumbling pass, a 2.5 twist through to a front pike somersault. And her shoulders are very far back as she rebounds out of the 2.5, and as a result, she can't get the rotation on the front pike.
It's been a thoroughly compelling return to a World Championship final for Simone Biles. A small breath as she now embarks upon this, the third performance. On beam, she scored 14.566 in qualifying.
She is slightly off on her mount sequence, and she doesn't do the third element that she normally does, the standing back pike somersault. So that could impact her difficulty slightly. The Mitchell turn, though, the triple in the Cossack sit position. Very, very steady, however. And And that's just classic Simone Biles on balance beam. Back handspring followed by 2 layout step outs. She's gearing up for her dismount. Should be 2 back handsprings followed by a full twisting double tuck.
Absolutely magnificent. Oh, what a reaction, what a performance. What a gymnast. What and this is a word that we overuse in sport, but it's well placed here. What a legend.
Legendary. Absolutely. And in this routine, she dealt very well with the small problem at the beginning. She showed real tenacity in just hitting the rest of it beautifully. And there's her reaction. She is a perfectionist after all.
Oyu Shen scoring 12.066. Just to remind you, the People's Republic of China in second place at the end of the last rotation. We're giving you great entertainment on floor today. And next we have Flavia Saraiva. After a prolonged spell of injury and surgery at the end of last year, Flavia Saraiva came back with such fierce determination. She said that she had sangue nos olhos, blood in the eye. It's a Brazilian colloquialism meaning I want this more than ever before. And goodness, she's proven it. 14.4 for Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, 14.3 for Simone Biles. We're seeing some very compelling scores. Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain to the balance beam, where Great Britain needs to push up towards the podium. They were 4th at the end of the last rotation.
She's generally quite aggressive on balance beam. There's a small wobble after her switch half, but she doesn't let it become a big problem. That is a Humphrey turn, 2.5 in the Cossack position. Once again, she's slightly off on her back handspring layout, but she does a good job of putting her feet down and just letting gravity work for her. Same thing on the side aerial.
Jessica Gadirova of Great Britain had a fantastic qualification campaign. She is going to contest the all-around final in a couple of days' time. And she'll also be a threat in the apparatus weekend.
It was a good fight on the switch side. Her hips weren't quite completely rotated as her feet came down.
The Netherlands in 7th place. At the end of the last rotation, I thought of Thorsdottir is now on vault.
She too has a double twisting Yurchenko.
Somewhat low in the landing, a little bent over, but it was well performed. One of the more complex vaults in the Dutch team.
We'll get to take another look at it from a different angle. Good entry. She's turning a little bit as her arms hit the table. That will be a slight deduction for the repulsion phase.
13.7 is the score for Arthur Thorsdottir. This was a very important performance for the French in qualification. Laurette Charpy on the uneven bars as France goes in pursuit of a medal. She scored 14.133, this resilient gymnast who's returned from rotten injury troubles.
She had two quite significant knee injuries in the last couple of years and has done brilliantly to come back. This is her specialty.
Well, apologies for the loss of that performance. Gives us a chance to look out over the arena in Antwerp, the Sport Palace, as we're about to go round for the very last time. And I can tell you that it is really not very easy to anticipate who's going to get onto that podium and who will miss out. 13.533 for Jessica Gadirova in the meantime.
We have a score on B for Jessica Gadirova, 13.533. Quick look at
I can tell you as well, just from the British team's perspective, that Ondine Champong was the top scorer on beam for them with 13.933. And that routine from Laurette Charpy was the same as in qualification, 14.133. So don't worry about the fact you missed it there, because by the sound of things, it was identical to the qualification campaign. So feel free just to look up the video on social media of her performing that. Shame not to see it, because it just is lovely to see Laurette Charpy back in international competition. She's had some dreadful knee injuries. 13.9, Flavia Saraiva. The Brazilian team is right there on the cusp of the podium, and they are going to vault next. Vault is where we're going now to look at Vera van Pol. She performs the 1.5 twisting Yurchenko vault, 4.6 difficulty. She scored 13.6 in the qualification phase. A gymnast who has 3 times been the all-around national champion. She's 29, hugely experienced member of the team.
Gymnasts of the second group, your warm-up time starts now.
And her score 13.4, just a small drop of 0.2 from qualification. The Dutch still in 7th position.
This is the rotation where everything will be decided.
What does it all mean? It means that the United States of America has extended its lead over the People's Republic of China France in third place, Brazil in fourth position. Look how close France and Brazil are. Italy are standing behind them, looking over their shoulders. Great Britain really have started to fade away. It looks as though now that we genuinely have a 4-team race to get 2 places on the podium, along with the United States of America.
Well, France on balance beam versus Brazil on